Gamblers, do you like pussy cats? Because we've got them in Marathon. I know there might be someone who just is completely caught off guard with that intro, but there we go. There's the intro right there. Pussycats. Yep. And it's really, that's the show, right? I've never seen people get so like lost in the sauce over a cat. It almost reminds me of Halo Infinite. When they introduced the cat ears, people lost their shit. Like, oh my God, best game ever. And it's literally, it's really bad. The player count is just abysmal. But hey, cats, they save the game, right? And so does the graphics. That saves the game 100%. We don't even know gameplay, but people are saying this is going to be one of the best games ever. I don't know about that, Chief, but here we go. We have an article by Inverse, and this time I checked. It's by a real person and not an AI. There was that one AI article journal. I lost my mind. I was like, I cannot believe I got baited. But anyways, here we have by a real human being. Marathon's gameplay revealed needs more than cute alien cats to win over players. Abso-freaking-lutely. Marathon has a long way to go to convince fans. Bungie is set to reveal more details about Marathon, an upcoming shooter that would... It's not an upcoming shooter. It is, but it's an extraction shooter that could compete with its own Destiny 2. I don't think so. Marathon's existence was announced in 2023, but outside of cinematic trailer... I'm getting lost in the sauce. I'm going to drop the sound just a tiny bit. Just sorry if you want to listen to that. Nothing, next to nothing about the game itself has been shown to public. Like nothing. Apparently it's had like 7 or so play tests, or at least I watched someone who talked about it, that they've been play testing or talking about it since 2017-18. So Marathon's been around for a long time. And most recently, the last things we heard was it was bad by extraction shooter players to it's good but not great. And now we're getting a wave of content creators who are literally dropping their pants for the game. So I don't know. We'll get to that in a minute. Now, after Bungie fans have solved a complex alternative reality game, the developer is set to show off how the game actually plays early in April. Putting its 2023 announcement aside, our real first look at Marathon will come Saturday, April 12th at 1 p.m. Eastern. Bungie will host a live stream on its Twitch and YouTube channels to share developmental updates, and more importantly, for prospective players, show off some actual gameplay. Key. Yeah, there was this whole ARG, and people were like going crazy, which I just want to make a point. Who the fuck is that even for? Because the only people that were involved were Destiny content creators and people part of their community. That was it. I looked and I was like, I looked at all these different streams to see what people were doing, and not a single other non-Destiny 2 content creator was actually giving a shit about this ARG secret puzzle. Like, it's cool and I get it and it's great, but it's such a Destiny thing that only the Destiny players were participating in it, which I thought the whole point of this game was to pull in a new audience, because a lot of these people who are excited for this puzzle are not actually going to transfer over to Marathon because it's an entirely different game, which it makes sense that Bungie wants to pull new players, but that's not who's participating in the puzzle and the event. So I'm so confused about what is the point of this if it's not even doing anything to bring in new views and new players and people's interest, when it's just the Destiny community, which, if you look at the Destiny numbers, they're going down. The number's going down. So, like, what are you doing? Bungie led up to the new announcement with a series of cryptic puzzles and mysterious social media posts to build a hype while teasing that something big was coming. Again, if you looked at some of the core, like even Dado, who's probably one of the top people in Destiny outside of Astacross, even he wasn't getting involved. Granted, he's a little bit more honest and he doesn't chase like the big hypes if it doesn't interest him. So, hate Dado, love Dado. At least he's honest. Like, he's not chasing the bag. He's just playing games, You know, he's just playing the game that he's kind of subscribed to. So I give him props for that. Then late on April 6th, Bungie dropped a trailer announcing the date of the live stream while still concealing any explicit reveal of Marathon with Intel. The trailer shows a view from a security camera that's been topped over while the sound of a sci-fi laser gun echoes in the distance. After one combatant is apparently killed, the trailer ends with some sort of pink alien kitty curling up by their side as lights erupt in the sky in the distance, presumably a ship taking off after extracting whatever its pilots were fighting over. Bungie, frankly, has a lot to prove of Marathon. The game is a reboot of a first-person shooter game originally released in 1994, which in some ways is a precursor to Destiny, though they're not canonically related. But where the original Marathon is a primary single-player story-based shooter, the reboot is a multiplayer extraction shooter that pits teams against each other in a player versus player match. Destiny certainly has plenty of PvP in it, but abandoning the idea of a narrative campaign or disconnected multiplayer games could be a disappointment for players who are attached to the series stories. I'm going to tell you right now, I think it is in their best interest to not give a shit about story. I'm going to say it. I mean, Tarkov has like a slight story, but it's not even like, that's not why you play Tarkov. You play Tarkov because you're doing quests and you're fighting over loot. And that should be it. Like, I think it's okay if Bungie doesn't turn an extraction shooter into a story game. Like, it doesn't need to be that way. Marathon's development cycle has also seen enough trouble to make fans worry. The game's original director was fired after an investigation of misconduct alleged by multiple women working at Christopher Barrett. The developer has also laid off 220 workers, or 17% of its workforce in 2024, while moving 155 more into parent company Sony Interactive Entertainment. Destiny 2 has also been in a rough spot recently, with Livewell expansion meeting with widespread criticism before the final shape somewhat redeemed the game's reputation. The game is far from its peak of popularity. Even Bungie fans may be wary of Marathon at this moment. Yeah, talk about, by the way, Heresy, supposed to be top tier content, and we're already going back down, man. We are already making our way back down to some of the worst parts of, like, yeah, it's not good. Marathon is luckily facing an uphill battle due to how much players in the game industry has a whole have turned on live service shooters since Bungie's initial announcement. That it's not even just live service, it's also the fact that it's not even going to be free to play. And that's the heel it has to compete with. Why should I pay $40 for this game versus a free to play game, or $40 for this extraction shooter when Tarkov exists? And if you're going to say, oh, the graphics, who gives a shit? I'm looking at gameplay, and that's what most people want to see. Is it fun? Is there more than 5 guns? Is it intensive? If it's a paper thin gameplay, like a Destiny 2 season, if it's that paper thin and they start time-gating content in this game like they do Destiny, it's going to be dead on arrival. It needs to be complex, and it needs to be deep and interactive. Like Tarkov, you could pick up like hundreds of different things for no other reason other than task or to sell it. Like, it's very complex. There's a lot going on in it, and that's what drives people to play that. If you make this the most simplest, bare basic extraction shooter where people feel like they've mastered it, kind of like Destiny 2 at launch, where there's like nothing else to do, people are going to get bored and they're just going to step away. They talk about Concord. We all know Concord's a dumpster fire. Despite all the doom and gloom, it's still worth tuning into Bungie's Marathon reveal stream when it airs on Saturday, at least for fans of the studio. That's not very much. Bungie has already shown that it can make a wildly engaging multiplayer shooter in a tough environment. Even with its up and downs, Destiny 2 remains one of the most successful live service games around. Yes, it is one of the most successful because it's probably the only one that's willing to try to survive, even though it's kind of just scraping by. Marathon might not be quite what fans of the original game were expecting, but its gameplay reveal on April 12th could finally show us whether the change is in the direction is a winning move. Here's the deal. I'm going to say this, and it may be controversial for some people. I don't want Marathon to fail. Destiny has suffered so much because of this stupid ass game that it better be worth it. It better pop the fuck off, because I think I'm going to be more pissed if this game comes out as a half-baked potatoes, because all that time that was wasted in a shitty game could have been put to make Destiny better or keep it somewhat functional. So if it fails to do what it should be doing, I'm going to be upset. I'm going to just say that right now. I don't want Marathon to fail. I do think it has a long way to convince people to play it. And here's the deal. I want to forewarn people to be careful about gaslighting. Do not fall for the content creators who overhype this game. Because one, Bungie's got their hand in their back pocket. People who are going to play the game and getting paid by Bungie to play the game. People who are jobs literally are tied to playing anything Bungie related. I would always be very cautious about what these people say. And here's a good reason why. Bungie has attempted to cater to streamers and content creators, and it has done nothing for the game. And I hope Marathon doesn't do that. If Marathon caters to streamers and content creators, the game's going to be dead on arrival. A good example is back in 2020. Remember Grandmasters? This week, this was back in April 11th, 2020. So 5 years ago. This week, Bungie made waves when they finally revealed more details about upcoming Grandmaster Nightfalls in Destiny 2. Among the highlights, they admitted the goal of the Nightfall was not really about loot. You simply get better drop rates at existing Nightfall rewards, but instead the challenge of beating each one in order to claim the Conqueror title. Bungie described that they wanted Grandmaster Nightfalls to be watchable, which led many fans to complain that Bungie was now overtly making content for top-tier streamers to play and everyone else to watch. Just keep this in mind whenever I tell you to be cautious about people gaslighting and overhyping Marathon. People who are being paid by Bungie to play the game, people who are advertising it. Always be cautious. Do not get gaslit, because we know historically, we have historical context with Bungie focuses on paying and promoting content creators who literally will let them put their hand in their back pocket. And if that's not it, if that's not all, just a light reminder about Destiny, translating to Marathon. It's unfortunate this expansion, this is back in Lightfall. Bungie paid massive streamers like Tim the Tatman, Clotsy, Tfue, Moist Critical, and XQC to play Lightfall. They paid them. Now tell me, do any of these streamers play Destiny right now? No. They got paid a lot of stuff to advertise Lightfall, and we all know it was a dumpster fire. So when we're talking about Marathon, do not believe a damn thing content creators say. Wait until either they do a beta or an alpha, and you play it for yourself. I'm sorry. There's a lot of overhype and gaslighting coming from the Destiny community over a game that isn't even fucking out. I think you could be excited at the prospects of maybe a new game, even though we know nothing. That's the sad thing. You're excited for fucking nothing. You're excited at an idea. And Bungie there's no historical context that makes me excited for Marathon, especially when the game is such at a low and that we are literally having constant bugs in the game that we're currently playing in Destiny. And that we're having this ARG, which is only pulling from the Destiny community, and not a single top streamer or anyone who's like not in the Destiny community is focusing on this event that's supposed to bring hype. Like, who is this hype for? So again, I'm always going to promote people to use their brains. Even if it's your favorite content creator, think for yourself. Watch the gameplay trailer April 12th. And if there's a beta or alpha, play it for yourself. Come to your own conclusion. Don't get gaslit by all these content creators who are paid to either stream games or they're paid specifically by Bungie to play the game. Because we've seen what happens when Bungie pays people. They don't stick around, and that will say miles and miles more. And here's the problem. Don't get baited into buying anything because of streamers. I think that is the biggest trap, is that people see all these content creators who probably get the game for free from Bungie. I mean, we know Bungie gives out silver and all this stuff for content creators to just buy whatever they want. Don't get baited with your hard-earned money. Come to the conclusion yourself. If it's something you're interested in, you're an extraction shooter lover, you're like, hey, I need some new flavor. I'm willing to spend $50, $40 cash money. I'm willing to eat that. If it's bad, it's bad. Or maybe you're on the fence. You're like, hey, I would like to dip my toes into an extraction shooter. Wait, come up with your own conclusion, and then buy. Do not buy because Mr. McGuffin says it's the best thing I've ever seen. And I know this is just an example. There's like a bunch of streamers out there overhyping. I just like to pick on the most noisiest ones that are like over the top. Come up with your own conclusion. It's okay to be excited, even though we have fucking nothing to be excited about because a kitty cat. Wow. I want to wait till April 12th to come into a conclusion based on gameplay, whether I should be excited or not. Not because some content creator played the fucking game and is like, man, it was really fun. Guys, you wait until you find out. Mind blown. Like, it's the prototypical bullshit that I see in advertisement. I feel like I'm crazy that I have to make a video talking about this, but I've seen so much stuff on Twitter and people are excited over nothing. There's literally nothing out there to be excited about outside of the prospect of maybe a cool futuristic game. And that's it. Like, we don't even have actual gameplay to be excited about. That's funny. It's like, it's just like Grand Theft Auto, except Grand Theft Auto 6 has Grand Theft Auto 5 historically because people love Grand Theft Auto 5. They lean on it. This is a new IP that has fucking nothing historically, unless you're saying, oh, Destiny. Yeah, Destiny is not good right now. Like, it's fun, but there's a lot of issues, so I wouldn't use that. It's also has a horrible legacy of the under delivery. The player base is shrinking. There's a lot of negative connotations to Destiny. I would not try to attach Marathon anywhere near that. It needs to be its own thing. It needs to shine as its own thing. And I hope it does. I want to reiterate. It sounds like I'm shitting on Marathon, but I don't want it to fail. Because I will be more pissed that the game that I invest all my time and, effort into playing is getting shit on because of this game. And I'll be pissed if it's ass because it makes me think, well, all those resources could have been used better elsewhere. So I want to make that out there for people who are mentally challenged, who don't understand criticism and caution and using your actual brain. Use it. I'm not saying Marathon should fail. I don't want it to fail. I know. And here's the thing. If you're one of those people that you are angry at Bungie for letting Destiny go down the drain because it's one of your favorite games, they have broken your trust, and you want Marathon to fail because you want Bungie to fail. Guess what? I think that's acceptable. I think you have a right to want something to fail because the company has broken your trust. It has focused its attention on different things that you feel is not okay. I think it's okay. I think you have a right to have that opinion. You have that right to have that feeling, and you can express that. I'm not one in that camp. I'm not going to go against you and argue against you saying you're wrong. You shouldn't want Marathon to fail. If you want Marathon to fail, you want Bungie to fail, that is your right to do so. That is your right as a consumer, a company that has let the product that you've been consuming go down the drain. It's like McDonald's, right? You have the Big Mac and then you have the Super Big Mac now. And the old Big Mac just doesn't taste nearly as good anymore because they're putting less effort into it because they want the Super Big Mac to be the new hotness. And you're like, well, why am I getting a lesser product but the same price versus now you're focusing more on the Super Big Mac? I don't know why I always go to like food. It's weird. I don't know. It's just the easiest comparison to make. But yeah, you have every right to be upset that your Big Mac now is less quality versus the Super Big Mac that they're putting all the time and attention to. You have a right to that. I personally, it's whatever. right? At some point, you gotta decide, you know what? If they're gonna treat the Big Mac like ass, maybe I need to go somewhere else. But I'm not gonna actively like hope that the Super Big Mac is ass, especially for people who want a good extraction shooter. Like, I think, you know what? More power to people who want a good extraction. Again, I'm saying if you want to be excited at the prospect of a new extraction shooter, that's great. But there's a lot of fucking people who are excited just to be excited because it's Bungie. Like, Bungie has done nothing to earn that loyalty of excitement. They've done shit all. Because this isn't the Bungie that made Halo. This isn't the Bungie that made Destiny 1. All those people have left. Maybe there's some that are working on Marathon. I'm just saying, let's wait before we come to a finite conclusion of whether it's going to be a good game or ass game. But just seeing people get so excited about a kitty cat, like, oh my God, best game ever. Listen, it is the most cutest little bastard I've ever seen. And I would, if you can have a pet follow you around, 10 out of 10. I would absolutely have a pussy cat follow me around. Absolutely. They'll probably end up getting me killed. But let's be honest, my cat would probably get me killed in a freaking zombie apocalypse because she won't shut up. She's not actually meowing. That's the thing I say to her when she's just meowing nonstop. Shut up. And then she comes up and sits in my lap and starts clawing me. It's a love-hate relationship. We love each other, but she's a brat and so am I. Anyways, that's where we're going to end this. Let me know what you think down below. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor. Until next time, I will be checking out. I don't know if I'll be live. Maybe I'll be live for the Marathon reveal. If so, check me out then. Until next time.